little short because most of the questions have already been asked to Sir Taguba. Itong tanong po na to, pwede pong sagutin ni Sir Mark at ni Sir Jimmy kahit magkasunod po. Masasabi niyo po ba na nung time na yon yung Davao Group ang pinakamainit na grupo, kumbaga sila yung pinakamagandang grupo na maging part ng negosyo o maging katrabaho nung time na yon?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Yes. Ikaw, Sir Jimmy, ano masasabi mo dun sa time?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Kumbaga, it is the hottest item in the menu, parang ganun, no?
Yes, Your Honor. From the start, after the outtaking from Malacanang, ganun po ang
Hanggang
customs na
matapos.
kainit. Opo.
Maraming salamat. Balikan ko lang, no, Mark, kasi na-mention mo na kanina from the questions posted by our honorable colleagues, our members. Itong Davao Group na to na kasama po si Tita Nani, Jojo Bacod, Congressman Pulong Duterte, and different actors, masasabi mo ito yung composition ng Davao Group, Mark?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Sino masasabi mo na head o leader ng Davao Group na to?
Well, tingin ko po si Paulo Duterte po.
Yan po ba ay common knowledge po sa inyong pinagtatrabahuan dati?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Normal na napag-uusapan, parang it's passed around, hindi po walang alanganin, wala pong masasabi na hindi kayo sigurado?
Yes po, Your Honor.
With that, Mr. Chair, I will end my short interpellation, but I'll add a brief manifestation kasi na-shock po ako dun sa sinabi ni Mr. Jimmy Guban, and I'd like to ask him kung pwede niya pong ulitin. Since, sabi niya po kasi, since time immemorial, nangyayari na po lahat ng mga to, not only with our problems with drugs, pero po nasabi niya po yung tungkol sa ating sa bigas or sa agricultural products. Tama po ba, Sir Jimmy?
Yes po, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Chair, siguro yung knowledge po na nalalaman ni Sir Jimmy tungkol po dito not only with drugs but not only with what we're tackling now, pati po dun sa bigas, will be a vital source of information po, lalo po sa ating Quintacom, Mr. Chair. So I would like to manifest na we should consider na adding as a resource person sa Quintacom si Mr. Jimmy Guban. Again, thank you, Mr. Chair, for the time.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Ortega, for that short
Mr. Chair.
interpellation. Yes, Congressman Abante.
If I can just advise Mark Taguba, no? You want to be a legitimate businessman, correct?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Huwag ka na mag-ano ng mga illegal pang kontrabando para hindi mo na kontakin pa yung Davao Group, di ba?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Inisip mo yung sarili mo. Yun ang unang-unang dapat mong gawin. Oh.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Then, I would like to ask Mr. Chair if we can ask Mr. Taguba to submit to us his personal ledger. Doon nakalista yung mga pinagbigyan mo ng pera at kung sino-sino.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Meron ka bang notebook o listahan?
Hahanapin ko pa po yun. Matagal na po kasi 7 taon na nakakalipas.
Sige. Para pagka ito yung nakita mo, submit mo dito sa committee.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay, so before the next interpellator,
Mr. Chair.
if I may, I'll just ask a few questions kay Jimmy Guban. Jimmy, yung bang Henry Tan na nabanggit mo kanina, isa siya sa kagaya ni Mark Taguba na player sa customs. When I say player sa customs, siya ang nagpa-facilitate ng mga importation.
Financer, Your Honor.
Financier.
Binibigay. Katulad po yun kay Mark. Si Mark, merong Chinese na kausap, binibigay sa kanya. So si Mr. Henry Tan, isa rin ganun.
So, halimbawa, kagaya nung nabanggit kanina ni Mark, yung bang si Hong Fei ay kakilala mo?
Hindi po, Your Honor.
So, paano siya naging kliyente mo?
Si Kenneth Dong po kasi ang kliyente ko eh. So,
Sige. So, bali, ang middleman ay si Kenneth Dong. And then, etong si Henry Tan, ay ganun din ang kanyang partisipasyon.
Opo, Your Honor.
Parang sila yung naghahanap na mag-i-import dahil meron silang kakilala sa loob ng customs para maipalabas yung mga importation na ito.
Yes, Your Honor. Marami silang consignees, the same with Mark.
Okay.
Merong 3, 5. Din yung mga shipper from the port of origin, sila ang nagmamanage nun. So, in fact, kung i-share ko kay Mark, yung shipper dapat nun ay makuha nila para pag galing doon sa port of loading, port of origin, malalaman kung sino yung mga incorporator din nun.
Okay.
Then malalaman po natin kung sino ang nag-load.
Pero posible rin, no? Posible rin na yung mga incorporator fictitious. Hindi totoo.
Yes, Your Honor. Ganun po ang ginagawa. Most common po ang Chinese businessman. Kaya ayaw nila dito magkaroon ng sariling consignee. Kasi karamihan doon may violation eh. Dahil karamihan po noon, infringed product po pagkagaling China. In fact,
Okay.
karamihan po ng importation ay bawal. I think if I'm not mistaken, nang umatin ako ng seminar, around the world, that is 80%. Pagkagaling sa China, ay dapat niya nasa red lahat. To include agricultural products.
So dapat, is that a customs policy? Yan ba ay policy, Attorney Buko? Na lahat ng importation na galing ng China ay dapat nasa red lane?
Not necessarily, Your Honor.
So ano yung mga maaaring hindi mapasok sa red lane na galing China na importation?
I'm not certain, Your Honor.
So how would you now classify any importation coming from China na maipasok sa red lane? So, si Attorney Buko muna, anong, di ba kasi merong classification, di ba? So, normally, kapag ang importation, ang goods ay galing ng China, ay red lane kaagad yan. Tama? Ngayon, unless accredited at merong magandang track record yung nag-i-import, yun lang siguro ang pwede maging green lane. Tama?
Green or yellow, Your Honor.
Green or yellow, no? Pag yellow, may inspection. Pag green, walang inspection. Tama? So, tama ba yun, Jimmy?
Your Honor, medyo okay po, tama po yun. Yung intelligence group po ng Bureau of Customs, under po niya yung Risk Management Office. Where yung selectivity ay under din po noon, yun yung 5. May super green lane pa nga po eh. Din green, din yellow, din red. 5 po
Super
yun.
green lane?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that part of the classification under the policy of the Bureau of Customs?
Yes, Your Honor. There is such a super green lane for...
Super green, green, yellow, and then red. Okay, sige. Thank you. Tapos,
Yes, Your Honor.
Jimmy.
Ang nagka-classify po niyan under the Risk Management Office. So may HIPI po yun, under ngayon ng, if I'm not mistaken, under po yan ng Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence.
So,
This is where intelligence, kung gaano po ka-importante. Kaya nga ako, yung source ko po ng intelligence is not from the Philippines. It is always my source from abroad.
so ibig
Dahil
mong,
ay, sorry po.
so, ibig mong sabihin na yung intelligence data, ayan ang basihan para kung ilalagay sa red, yellow, green, o super green.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Sige, hindi, malinaw na kasi hindi familiar sa amin sa akin, no, personally, yung color coding na yan.
That is why, Your Honor, there is profiling. There was profiling ever since eh. Nailagay na yan dyan.
So all shipments na dumarating sa
Yes, Your
atin, may
Honor.
profiling kayo?
Yes, Your Honor. Supposed to be gagawin. Kung hindi po nabubulag yung manager na
So
nandoon.
kahit na ito ay isang importation ng isang legitimate company rito, may profiling
Yes,
pa rin
Your
kayo?
Honor, complete po. Kaya nga po nadidetermine according to the World Customs Organization. Kaya po, pag mga international companies, nandoon po yung super green lane according to the World Customs Organization. Kasi yan po ay proven na talagang malinis, malinaw ang mga kargamento.
Okay,
So
sige.
nagkakaroon po ng green, ng yellow, ng red, dahil po yun dahil sa profiling. Nalalaman po natin yung sa mga partner natin abroad na itong kargamento na to, nag-iipit. So lalo na po pag China. Nag-schooling po ako ng ilan, pero palagi ang target ang China eh. Kasi nga nandoon karamihan, 80% halos ang produkto doon ay gaya-gaya. So yun po ang
Yung
inano
fake,
kayo ng
fake.
IPO.
Ang ibig
Yes, Your
sabihin,
Honor.
gaya-gaya, fake.
Fake, Your Honor.
Okay.
So kaya po kalamitan dyan talaga, karamihan dyan ay nandoon sa red, yellow. Palaging may examination yan, may x-ray. Then pagdating po doon sa valuation, inaayos din po yun kasi marami po doon, ang karamihan talaga ay mali ang deklarasyon.
Di ba, bago naman paratingin dito, doon sa port of origin, may mga dokumentong ina-advance papunta rito, correct? Attorney Buko.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what do you call this document?
Your Honor, those are the shipping documents such as the inward foreign manifest, the bill of lading, the invoice.
And in that bill of lading and forward manifest, nandyan naka-identify kung ano yung mga yan.
Yes, Your Honor. The importer, the description of the goods, the quantity, the weight, etc.
Even the value of the goods.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now kay Mark Taguba. Mark, yung pinacilitate mo yung container na yan na naglalaman ng magnetic lifter, tama? Magnetic lifter. Ano ba yung nasa laman ng container na pinacilitate mo?
Cylinder po.
Yung cylinders, no, na naglalaman ng shabu. Wala. Anong declaration? Anong nasa bill of lading?
Ayun nga po, ang nakalagay lang po doon, hindi ako nagkakamali. Footwear, cutting board. Wala pong nakalagay
So,
na metal
ikaw
cylinder.
bilang tracker and customs facilitator, hindi mo na sinisiguro. Pagka nakalagay dun sa dokumento, ito ay footwear, general merchandise, okay na sa iyo yun.
Opo.
So, hindi mo alam na kung ang totoo palang laman nun, maaring baril, maaring drugs.
Pwede ko pong idagdag sana. Kaya rin naman isa sa mga nanigurado din ako na walang laman na kung ano pa man yun. Kasi po may AFTA po yun eh. ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement. So yun po ay may...
AFTA. Is that a certification?
Opo, galing
Okay.
China. So yan po, pinatunayan po sa korte ng examiner na totoo po yun.
So, ay, yung ibig sabihin, kung titingnan nating mabuti, dahil may AFTA certification yan, sa mata ng China, ang kanilang pinarating dito ay illegal.
Yes po. Kasi po,
So may kasapakat sila doon. Meron silang kasabwat doon.
yun, wala po akong personal knowledge doon.
Kasi hindi naman maaaring ilagay nila sa bill of lading na may shabu dyan.
Tama po kayo.
At hindi naman nila isi-certify.
Pero tama po kayo doon. Pero sa side po namin, dahil tinatakan po yun ng Quarantine Bureau, pag Quarantine Bureau po, physical inspection po yan. So sa aming side, walang problema. Okay lang yung... Yun lang naman yung ano namin eh.
So
yung
nung nakita,
namin.
nung nakita mong may certification ng AFTA,
Yun ang
nagtiwala ka na walang droga yan.
Yun po kasi yung pinaka-protection din namin eh. Na
Okay.
para hindi masangkot sa mga ganyan.
So ibig sabihin, may kasabwat sila ron.
Maaari po.
Hindi ba? Kasi hindi naman magse-certify yung China na ito ay AFTA kung talagang in-inspection nila ang laman ng kinaga sa loob ng container.
Your Honor, tunay kaya yung AFTA?
So, malaking question din yan. Pag-usapan din natin yan sa susunod. But I just wanted to validate yung naririnig namin na info na paano naman kayo na mga kagaya mo, customs facilitator, nagnenegosyo sa loob ng customs, anong protection nyo? Kaya nga, gaya ng sinabi mo, yung AFTA certification, yun ang nagpapatunay na walang kontrabando. Supposed to be.
Yes po, Your Honor. Bukod pa doon, yung mga dokumento na bill of lading, mga SAD, lahat po yan meron pong nakalagay na certified true and correct.
So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang ikaw ang maaring naloko nitong mga importer na ito.
Yes po, Your Honor.
On top of your head, sino sa tingin mo ang mga maaring nagpasok ng mga kontrabando? Yung sa tingin mo lang, na mga nandyan sa ganyang klaseng negosyo.
Alam niyo
Not
po,
necessarily drugs, ha? Maaring nagpapalusot ng ibang goods. Ganun.
alam niyo po, Your Honor, wala po tayong kasiguruduhan na kasi po yung drugs kahit saan naman pwede ilagay. Kahit dito sa microphone na to pwede na lang ilagay. So, para sa akin, mas importante yung protection ng mga nagpapacilitate. Kasi nakabase lang sila doon sa dokumento eh.
Yan.
So lahat ba ng itong mga gamit na to sisirain para malaman kung may drugs? Unfair naman. Para sa akin kung talagang seryoso para sa illegal na droga.
Pero sa iyong practice, hindi ka ba nagtaka na nung nagbigay ka ng 5 million, bumilis na yung... Ganun ba talaga kalakaran? Kailangan meron kang enrollment para hindi na ma-red lane yung iyong mga pinapacilitate na mga kargamento?
Sabi po ni Jimmy, ano pa yan noon pa. Pero sa akin po kasi, yung sa aking experience, nung una pa lang ako, nagsisimula pa lang naman ako, onti pa lang yung container ko eh. So,
Konti ba yung 100 sa
Hindi.
isang linggo?
Nung ano na po yun, nung naka-enroll na po ako, unti-unti po siyang tumaas. Pero titignan nyo po, mga 14,
Teka, tanong ko lang, bago ko makalimutan. Nung naka-enroll ka na, kamo tumaas.
yes po yun.
Bakit tumaas? Bakit tumaas? May nagtiwala sa'yo ng importer.
Yes po, kasi tracker ako eh, yung lamang ko rin eh. So,
And kilala mo lahat niya mga importer na yan.
opo, nagbibigay ako ng, pagka nagdidiskarga dun sa mga warehouse, bibigay ako ng ng calling card ko. Tapos nakalagay din yung all-in. So,
Anong all-in? Ano ibig sabihin ng all-in?
yun po yung 170,000.
Ibig sabihin, pag may calling card ka na may nakalagay all-in, ibig sabihin enrolled ka.
Yung sa mga kliyente ko, pag nakita nila yon, mura lang yung
Hindi,
parating mo.
kasi nga, kamo, simula nung na-enroll ka, dumami yung
Opo.
iyong kliyente.
Opo.
Sino nagbigay sa'yo ng mga kliyente?
Ako po nagano ng mga kliyente ko, Your Honor. Ako po naghanap.
Ikaw naghanap.
Opo, kasi
Walang
nandun-
nagbigay
kasi-
sa'yo.
Opo, kasi nandoon sa larangan yun yung trabaho ko po eh.
At
sa tracker.
malakas ang loob mo maghanap ng kliyente kasi enrolled ka na.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay, sige. Salamat. Congresswoman Luistro.
Question for Mark Taguba. Bakit enrolled ka na sa Davao, naharang pa yung container na fina-facilitate mo for release?
Ayun po, Your Honor. Sabi ko rin po minsan, ano lang din nila yan para magbigay ka sa kanila additional na payment. Pag nag-alert naman sila, hindi marami. Unti-unti lang. Pero syempre, kahit isang container lang ang ma-alert dyan, malaking halaga po yun yung laman ng container. So, kaaregluhin mo talaga siya. So, sa aking side, patingin ko po, para siyang additional income. Parang siguro, may sila ngayong araw, kailangan nila ng pera. So, mga haras sila ng tao. Pupunta ka sa nila, mag-aareglo ka.
Mark, I am talking about the container which had this metal cylinder with illegal drugs. Was it a coincidence na siya yung na-check? Or is there other reason behind kung bakit sa kabila ng enrollment mo sa Davao Group, naharang itong shipment na to?
Hindi po siya naharang sabi ko nga po, green lane po siya.
Green lane.
Opo. So, dire-diretso po siya. Wala po siyang x-ray, wala po siyang physical examination. At talagang wala kaming alam na kung may to. Sa katunayan nga, ang tagal nga na-release May 15 pa dumating yung container, sinabi ko na yun noon. At May 24 pa siya na-deliver.
So how was the shabu contained in the metal cylinder discovered?
Ayun po, nagkaroon ng raid sa May 26 sa Valenzuela. At yun, binuksan nila yung cylinder doon. Doon nila nalaman na may shabu yung cylinder.
The discovery happened after the release,
Yes po.
when the same is already in the warehouse.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Kanina sabi mo, wala sa packing list yung metal cylinder. Tama ba?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Anong naging basis ng implication mo dito sa metal cylinder when the same is not written among the items in the packing list?
Ayun po, ang tanging ebidensya lang po nila is yung logbook ng Hongfei na di umano, nung nagdiskarga dun sa container na yun, merong 5 cylinder na diniskarga dun sa container na yun.
And who prepared that logbook?
Yung Hongfei din po.
Would you know who is that employee or representative of Hongfei? Kasi pwede ko namang basta isulat lang yan
Yun nga po.
na may kasama siyang metal cylinder when in fact wala.
Yun po. Yun po, kasama po yun sa aming depensa na bakit yun ang pinagbasehan nila, yung pwede mong isulat na lang kahit sino. Samantalang sa amin, meron kami mga dokumento na in-examine yan sa China. At hindi naman po yan ninakaw Dumaan yan sa Bureau of Customs
So, was the person who unloaded the cargo from the container while in the warehouse already, was he presented in the court?
Yung nag-unload po, hindi po. Hindi po
So
siya.
it was only the...
Yung prepare lang po nung yung unhigh packing list na sinasabi nila. Na yun
Wait, sabi mo kanina the packing list which goes with the bill of lading does
Hindi
not
po yun.
include...
Hindi po siya kasama doon. Kaya nga nagulat kami. Bakit may iba pang packing list?
In other words, dalawa yung packing list ngayon.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Packing list that goes with the bill of lading nung dumating yung shipment.
Yung packing list na pinresent niya doon sa court, kailanman hindi ko pa nakita yun. At hindi rin yun dumaan sa Bureau of Customs. Kaya ikino-contest namin yun eh. Saan ang galing yung packing list na yun?
Were you not able to keep your own copy of this customs documents, importation documents, para sana na-prove mo that the packing list that they are offering to the court is different from the real and actual packing list?
Yun nga po, Your Honor, hindi kami pinakinggan dyan.
But were you able to keep for yourself
Opo,
copy of the importation documents?
Opo, pinresent po namin yan.
Yun bang documents mo, do they bear the stamp of the BOC that they were processed already?
Yes po, Your Honor. Mismong BOC.
Tapos yung packing list nila, mayroon ding tatak ng BOC.
Wala po. Ano nga lang po siya eh, gawa-gawa lang eh. So, yun nga, kahit sino pwedeng gawin yun. So, bakit yun yung sinuportahan ng korte, no?
Mr. Chair, we are talking about two packing lists. One with the stamp of the Bureau of Customs and the other without the stamp of the Bureau of Customs. I just want to manifest how come if the one with the stamp was likewise presented in court, present nyo ba?
Yes po. After po yung pinresent namin, tsaka lahat po ng dokumento na dumaan po sa BOC.
I just want to state for the record, Mr. Chair, why between these two documents, the one with the stamp of the BOC and the one without the stamp, the one which was appreciated in hearing the case, is this one which does not bear the stamp of the BOC? That is a manifestation, Mr. Chair. And kanina po, sabi ni Mr. Guban, thank you, Mr. Taguba, since time immemorial, aba, nakaka-alarma po yan. Napakarami po ng estudyante ng Customs Administration. And even myself, I was able to teach a lot of Bachelor of Science in Customs Administration students. It is quite alarming na ang dadatnan nilang sistema sa BOC has been installed since time immemorial. Talo pa, Mr. Chair, ang principle of law since time immemorial. So, in this light, Mr. Chair, I wish to share to the committee, I hope this is one of the actual forms which are being used as bill of lading. Secretariat, please. Mr. Guban, based on your experience as an employer official of BOC for a long period of time, please walk us through. Paano po ba ginagamit itong form na ito? And I wish to give emphasis also to his statement earlier. Dapat dun sa loading pa lang, kilala na natin kung sino yung shipper. And if the shipper, I do not understand why he should be different from the owner of the shipment or the exporter. If they are two different persons, I wish that the names of both should be reflected. That is for us to be able to determine the parties accountable for the contents of the container. Not only that, Mr. Chair, pagdating dito sa Pilipinas, kung ang consignee is different from the owner, the identity of both must be disclosed as well. And we have to emphasize also that this bill of lading, if I am not mistaken, is under oath. Bawal magsinungaling. I remember, Mr. Chair, during our hearing in the Dangerous Drugs Committee about the illegal drugs which was apprehended at Empire 999 in Mexico, Pampanga. Ito pong form na ito ay napakaraming iniwan na blanco. Reason kung bakit hindi natin matrace kung sino ang party accountable. So, I wish to bring this as well to the attention of the BOC. Aanin po ba natin yung mga cells na yan? Yung mga blankong yan, kung hindi po natin uobligahin ang mga parties concerned to fill in the necessary and accurate information. Bakit po kailangan nating mag-process, tumanggap ng bill of lading na bungi-bungi? So that in case of illegal kargamento or contraband, hindi maintindihan kung sinong hahabulin. And the worst scenario is, the people in between, naghanap buhay lang, natuwa dun sa kita nila, like the consignee for hire, like the custom broker, both are totally unaware of the contents of the container, sila ang nakukulong. So, Mr. Chair, may we request Jimmy Guban, ano po ba dapat sinusulat dito sa bill of lading na ito? Please walk us through as to the actual practice at the BOC. Pasensya na po sa taga-BOC, parang mas marami pong alam si Jimmy Guban kaysa sa ating mga resource persons from BOC.
Your Honor,
Mr.
dapat po
Chair.
yung, thank you po, Your Honor. Dapat po yung bill of lading, advance po na dumadating yan sa port, sa Bureau of Customs, lalo na po sa Office of the Commissioner, then sa Office ng District Collector, din pababa po. So doon po malalalaman na natin kung ano ang mga kargamento base doon sa sinulat nila. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Guban, let's start with the parties. Sino po yung mga parties concerned whose names must appear in the bill of lading?
Your Honor, mas maganda po kung umpisahan ko siguro sa consignee. Kasi pag bill of lading, from galing lang yun abroad eh. So yung consignee, yung accreditation ng customs, pasensya na kapanyero. Ang consignee kasi wala isang warehouse. Yun yung importer natin dito sa Pilipinas. So yung consignee, ina-aprobahan nung na-assign pa ako noon.
Mr. Guban, are you trying to say that the consignee and the importer is one and the same person?
Meron yan, ma'am, na isa lang. Merong iba. Kaya nga po may shipper, may bill of lading. Galing po yun doon sa shipper. So pagdating dito sa Pilipinas po, kung bill of lading na, may kasama na po yun na advance foreign manifest from the shipping line. So yung port of loading, nakalagay na po yun doon sa lahat. Ibig sabihin, from the port of loading, nakadeklara po yun doon sa packing list kung ano yung laman po ng container. So yung container po doon from the port of loading, iba-iba po nun ang may-ari. Kaya po mayroong tinatawag kaming consolidator abroad. Sa isang de 20 or de 40, there are instances na mayroon pong 3 o 5 ang may-ari.
Okay, let me interrupt. How do we determine who are the owners of the different packages contained in one container facilitated by one consolidator?
Na, Your Honor, to tell you frankly, wala na po. Isa na lang ang may-ari nun, yung shipper na lang.
Shipper na lang.
Opo, yung nagpadala dito. Yung tunay na may-ari nun, sila na nag-uusap from the port of origin hanggang dito sa Pilipinas.
In other words, the real owners of this shipment talks to the shipper.
To the shipper, Your Honor.
They pay the shipper also
That's correct, Your Honor.
for allowing their shipment to be contained in the container.
Opo, Your Honor.
And we have no document to show kung sino ang may-ari, actual owner ng mga shipment na ito, except for the shipper.
except for the shipper, Your Honor, then even the company, if that is authentic or original na galing doon sa port of loading. Dito sa atin, ang dokumento marami sa recto eh. So, yun po, Your Honor, dapat chine-check para yung bill of lading masabi natin di na tama. So, para pagdating doon sa, ibinangga nyo po yun sa consignee, yung importer na, pagdating po dito, yung consignee kasi, yun yung lumalabas na importer, sila ngayon ang magdideklara, yung license broker. So sila ang magdideklara kung ano po yung mga in-import nila base doon sa shipper papunta ng Pilipinas. So kung ano po ang binigay na pinadala dito sa bill of lading, packing list, yun din ang ilalodge na entry nung consignee dito po sa Pilipinas, sa customs. Ang problema po natin, kaya hindi na po natin ma-check dahil yung consignee, minsan ang daming budiga na pinagdadalhan nila iba-iba. Hindi na po natin na monitor pagbaba ng kargamento kung tama yung dineklara nila from the port of origin. Ang sabi nila sa port of origin, 5. Tsinelas, shoes, t-shirts, kung ano pa. Pagdating po dito sa Pilipinas, hindi na nakikita ng mga consignee, yung nagtatrabaho na katulad kay Mark. Kasi dinadala na po yan nila sa kanilang budiga. So ang customs po, nawawala na yung monitoring kung ano na po ang laman ng container. So that is how the law enforcement in the Bureau of Customs work.
Is it correct to say, Mr. Guban, na ang ginagawa ng consignee at importer dito sa Pilipinas, they simply rely on the packing list that was prepared by the shipper?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if you are the shipper, will you include among the packing list those which are illegal?
No, Your Honor.
Definitely not.
Not, Your Honor.
In other words, dapat may actual inspection.
From the port of origin, Your Honor. That's correct.
Both from the port of origin and at the port of unloading.
Yes, Your Honor. Apo.
Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please continue, Mr. Guban.
So, pagdating po dito ng consignee, iba-ibang may-ari, yung container minsan sa kalsada lang po yan. Pag walang warehouse na designated yung consignee, minsan sa kalsada lang binababaan na nila yung kargamento. Hiwa-hiwalay. Ilalagay na sa mga close van. Pag may illegal, close van ka agad yan, takbo na sa kanila para pambinta. So, we cannot, Your Honor, prevent the cargos, legal man or illegal, kung paano talaga natin maitatama, pati sa duties and taxes. Pati na rin po sa BIR, pagdating sa BIR. Dahil pagdating sa deklarasyon na nila, iba na. So,
Because there is really no actual inspection.
Your Honor, hindi naman po, kahit na wala na pong actual inspection sa x-ray makikita, kundi pagdating po dun sa labas. Kasi pagdating na po sa labas na wala na sa customs area, customs zone, nasa kanila na po for delivery na, where the customs importation will finish. So doon na po yung sa kanila na. Yung mga nandoon pala ay mamahaling laptop, mamahaling mga taxable goods. Hindi na po namin yun nakikita, hindi na po nakikita ng customs yun, kasi nandoon na yun, sarado na ang budiga nila. So lalo na po pag ito nandoon sa mga industrial estate. So rami po ang palusot na nangyayari from the port of origin, port of loading, hanggang doon po sa delivery po dito sa atin sa Pilipinas.
Attorney, I have few questions. Based on the testimony of Mr. Taguba, flat rate 170,000 per container, regardless of the contents of the container, because there is no actual inspection anymore that is happening. Would you agree with me, malaki ang pera na nawawala sa gobyerno?
Yes, Your Honor, I agree.
Yes. Since you assumed your office as Chief of Prosecution Division of BOC, ilan na po ba ang na-file niyong kaso ng smuggling?
Your Honor, based on our data, there are 508 cases from 2018 to 2024, Your Honor,
Where do you file those cases?
before the Department of Justice, Your Honor.
DOJ.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ilan naman po ang nakaabot sa court?
Your Honor, I can provide the data, but filed in court, 55 for filing in court, 40.
Come again, attorney.
Your Honor, for those filed in court, 55.
55?
55. For filing in court is 40. 40.
40 for those filed in court.
No, Your Honor, 55 for those
55.
filed in court.
Ano yung 40?
40 for filing, Your Honor. It's
For filing
for
pa lang.
filing, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, ganito ha, attorney, sabi mo, there are 508 cases you were able to file with the DOJ. 55 of those are already in court and 40 of those are still for filing with the court. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think, attorney, this statistics is commensurate doon sa sinasabi ni Mr. Guban since time immemorial?
Well, Your Honor, based on the numbers alone, it's low, Your Honor. But however, there are several
Or
factors.
let me rephrase my question. It's quite unfair for you. Yung 5 years mo na nasa BOC ka, chief ka ng prosecution division, he's saying widespread, lahat, since time immemorial, bago pa yata tayo naging abogado, yan ang sistema sa BOC. Do you think that these numbers are commensurate to the way that they are describing the TARA system, which even encouraged smuggling activities in BOC? Is it commensurate?
Well, Your Honor, based on numbers alone, Your Honor, it may not be commensurate.
It is not commensurate.
But Your Honor,
What do you think is lacking in your system? Attorney, I hope you realize napakabigat ng burden na nakaatang sa'yo.
yes, Your Honor, I do realize that, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, there are several factors, Your Honor.
All right, please enlighten us.
Your Honor, one is there's a 2024 rules on preliminary investigations and inquest proceedings, Your Honor, which changed the the quantum of evidence, Your Honor.
Why? Is it not probable cause pa rin ang
Your
pinag-uusapan
Honor.
natin?
No, Your Honor.
What?
Prima facie evidence, Your
Prima
Honor.
facie evidence.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then?
And then another factor, Your Honor, are availability of original or certified documents, Your Honor. So if we don't have the original or certified copies, Your Honor, the DOJ might not have a resolution recommending the filing of an information against this importers.
You mean to say you are losing these cases at the level of the Department of Justice?
Some, Your Honor, some are in the court level, Your Honor.
Ito bang 508 minus 40 minus 55, buhay pa ba to? Still pending with the DOJ or dismissed already?
Your Honor, these are, some of them are dismissed, Your Honor.
How many have been dismissed already out of 508?
Based on my data, Your Honor, 10, Your Honor. 10 dismissed in court, Your Honor.
Dismissed in
dismissal.
court.
Court
Dismissed
dismissal.
by DOJ. How
No,
many?
Your Honor. Dismissed by DOJ, 16, Your Honor.
16.
Your Honor.
So, ang talo mo lang is 26.
Your Honor, there's also for automatic review, Your Honor.
May pag-asa ka pa sa 472.
Yes,
Tama ba?
Some of them are for automatic review, Your Honor.
For automatic review by the DOJ as
Yes,
well.
Your Honor.
How many are you in your office? Are you addressed also as prosecutor?
Your Honor, it is the Department of Justice state prosecutors who are the
Yeah, but your office says prosecution division. How do we have to address you?
Your Honor, we are also government prosecutors, Your Honor. We are the one who
Government
prosecute
prosecutors.
seizure cases.
But you
Your
are under BOC,
Honor.
right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Baka dapat ang prosecutor galing DOJ. What do you think?
Your Honor, with due respect, Your Honor, the BOC lawyers are trained with the Customs Modernization and Tariff Act, Your Honor, and other related laws, rules, and regulations, Your
Yes, but based on your own admission, this statistics is low compared to the widespread TARA system that the two resource persons are describing.
Well, Your Honor, we are also in close coordination with the Department of Justice in order to improve our system, Your Honor.
Let me go back to my question. How many are you in your office? How many government prosecutors are you in your office?
Your Honor, 15, around 15, Your Honor.
Around 15. Do you closely coordinate with the BOC police?
Yes, Your Honor. They provide us with data, Your Honor. Whenever they have a seizure, Your Honor, we are.
How many are those people at the BOC police, the law enforcement?
I have known.
You have no idea. Okay. Mr. Chair, I wish to request for a summary of the 508 cases. Just a summary. And then a verification of whether this 508 consignees belong to green lane, yellow lane, or red lane. Thank you, Attorney.
Yes, Your Honor. We will provide the requested data, Your Honor.
Mr. Taguba, one last. Si Kenneth Dong, is he associated to Davao Group?
Wala po akong personal knowledge. Parang nakikita ko lang may picture sila eh. Hindi ko po alam.
Do you believe that what happened at the warehouse, the raid that happened at the warehouse, where this metal cylinder was discovered containing shabu, do you believe that this is just part of the regular operation of the law enforcement, and it is just a coincidence that you are one among those enrolled with Davao Group? Nagkataon lang ba ito?
Sa akin po, kasi wala naman po akong personal knowledge. Sabi ko nagkataon lang.
Nagkataon lang.
Dahil wala naman po akong alam eh. Bukod dyan wala po akong alam sa mga ganyang bagay.
Mr. Chair, as a final word, I know I have said this before, but I think the revelations that we continue to hear from the resource persons warrants really the revisit of the charter of the Bureau of Customs. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Luistro. The manifestation is well taken, and in fact, one of the recommendations that this committee will make is the review of the BOC charter after we have completed the investigation on this particular issue. Now, for a short interjection, Congressman Keith Flores, and then we will move to another topic. EJK na po tayo pagkatapos ito. Congressman Flores, you have the floor. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Attorney Buko, how long have you been chief prosecutor of the BOC?
Just this year, Your Honor.
Just this year. But you have been with the prosecution division for 5 years. Now, you testified earlier that there have been 500 cases that have been brought to your attention that you're investigating. Investigating to, ano? Not yet prosecuting.
Your Honor, some of them are already filed in court. Your
Yeah,
Honor.
you gave the numbers na 55 are filed in court, 40 are for filing out of the 508. Itong 508 na to, is it in a 5-year period that you were with the BOC? Or just this year?
Your Honor, this is from 2018 to 2024.
Also from 2018 pa.
Yes, sir. 2018
So
to
that's a
2024.
6-year period?
Yes.
Tama ba? Now, in a 6-year period, itong 508 cases na to, is it 508 consignees or 508 containers?
Your Honor, this is based on the case number, Your Honor.
Case number.
Yes, sir.
So it could be with the same consignee several times.
Yes, sir.
It could be more than one container per consignee.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tama, okay. Now, in your 5 years also, how many have you convicted in court? How many convictions have you secured in court?
Your Honor, based on my data, it's 24, Your Honor.
24. From 2018.
2018, Your Honor. Yes.
From 2018, 24 ang na-convict.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you said earlier also na malit to ng case ang 508, di ba?
Your Honor.
Malit
pardon?
lang to number of cases na you're investigating into 508 sa
Yes,
tingin mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Admittedly, mas marami pa dyan yung nakakapasok na hindi natin nahuhuli.
Probably,
Because for various reasons,
Yes,
no?
probably.
Like kakulangan sa manpower, other systems that you need to correct, etc., etc. So, from your in your opinion, Attorney Buko, magkano ang nawawala sa Bureau of Customs in terms of collection on a yearly basis na hindi natin nakukolekta properly in terms of amount?
Your Honor, we can provide the data.
Can you give me one? No? Can you give me, wala ba kayong Wala ba kayong like let's say yearly review na ito yung nawawala
Yes.
sa atin from Can you give me like last year na lang?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't have the data.
How
now.
about this year?
I don't have the data. Your
Is it in the billions of pesos? Ang sa report nyo, ballpark figure lang? Millions lang or billions?
Cannot say.
Yep. Every year you have a review Di ba? Na-mention yan. Ito yung nawawala sa atin from Hindi mo man lang malaman kung billions or millions? Yan lang man? Idea?
Probably millions, Your Honor.
Millions lang, hindi naman billions.
Probably,
Ha?
Your Honor.
Probably. But hindi mo maalala. Can you give us these figures na lang?
Yes, we can provide. I can ask, Your Honor.
Okay. Can we get as soon as possible? Okay, see. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Flores.
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Akop.
pwedeng magtanong, Mr.
Yes,
Chair?
you have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pidea. Pidea is still here.
Pidea, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for year 2024, meron po ba kayong nadidiscover pa na local illegal drug manufacturer?
From the year...
No, this year.
We have some projects, but so far, sir, we do not have not found any laboratory, so to speak, the clandestine lab.
Wala.
Yes, sir.
Yun pong smuggling of illegal drugs through shall we say, through our coastline. Meron po ba?
Based on the reports, yes, sir.
Meron, and how many would that be? Yung mga na-smuggle na illegal drugs through our wide coastlines?
I do not have, sir, the total, but there were many incidents where we discovered smuggled methamphetamine, to be specific, sir.
Substantial ba yung amount of illegal drug?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, are you trying to tell this committee na dalawa lang ang pinalulusutan o pagpapalusutan ng mga illegal drugs through customs at saka dun sa mga ating coastline? Would you agree with that?
We have ship side also, sir, other than
yeah,
the
I know.
customs.
Would you agree with that? Yung akin na yun na lang ang daan kung bakit nakakapasok ang mga illegal drugs? Kasi dapat alam po nyo ito eh.
Yeah, sir, I believe so, sir. There are incidents, I think the bulk are coming from the ship side, meaning it did not pass through the customs, but definitely a substantial amount also came from cross through our formal port, sir.
Yeah. So, alam po natin kung saan dumadaan yung illegal drugs. Tama. Shipside unloading o kaya sa coastal lines natin at saka yung formal entry sa customs. Tama.
Yes, sir.
Now, may I know, ano po yung strategy na inisip po ninyo o ginagawa in order to arrest this?
So far, sir, we have the Seaport Interdiction Unit, which is a conglomeration of the different law enforcement unit, the same as with the Airport Interdiction Unit. And these are bodies, sir, from the different law enforcement units, sir.
In the number of entry of illegal drugs through the coastal areas at saka shipside, ilan po ang na-interdict ninyo?
Very recently, sir, we have interdicted, I think, some twice 34 this September, 34 kilos, 34 kilos, and just 5 days, another 18 kilos from intercepted already at Sorsogon. But the report says that there should be more.
Customs, how are you helping the government arrest the entry of illegal drugs? Kasi dadalawa na lang yung source ng pagpasok eh. Pero marami pa rin nahuhuli.
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, actually the interceptions of the Bureau of Customs mostly come now from the airports, Clark Airport and the Subic, the Clark Airport and the Manila International Manila International Airport. So for those airports, we had
Major, yung airport parcels lang yan eh, di ba?
yes, Your Honor, but
Yung mga bulk nanggagaling po dun sa ports. Tama?
yeah, some were some passed through the ports before, Your Honor, but up to this date now, after the cases of the magnetic lifter and the one that was mixed with a certain powder, I forgot the name, that were the last big volume shipments of drugs which were intercepted at the port, Your Honor.
Pidea, yung last report na alam namin dito sa Quadcom was the seizure of 115 kilograms of illegal drugs in 2 places in Cavite. Di ba tama? Dapat alam mo yun, Iho, dahil coordinated sa'yo yung operations eh.
I'll find out, sir.
Ang nag-operate doon, PIDEG, ng Philippine National Police.
According to our report, sir, it's 110 kilos.
110 o 115?
110 kilos.
Dalawang lugar yun eh. According to the intelligence report, ang report doon is 500 kilograms yung pinasok.
Yes, sir, I remember.
Yes.
There's 110 and not 5, it's 4.
Di ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Naman, no? Kahit na may edad na ako, natatandaan ko pa yung naririnig ko dito sa committee na ito. Ano po? Di ba? So, in other words, malaki pa rin yung pumapasok. That gives me the reason why I'm asking for your strategy. Kasi, bakit ang lalaki pa rin yung pumapasok? According to that report, 500 kilograms yung kwan eh. According to intelligence report, yung iba, yung sobra sa 115 na yun na kilograms, ay sinavings. Alam mo rin yun siguro dahil intelligence report yun eh. Would you agree?
I heard about it, sir.
Yes. Kung narinig ko na wala na ako sa law enforcement, kayo ang nasa law enforcement, alam ko yung report na yun, di mas alam nyo dapat kaysa sa akin. Di po ba?
I agree, sir.
Yeah. So, let's go to the formal entry. Major Cascolan, do you agree na merong TARA system sa customs?
Yes, Your Honor.
The director.
Attorney Dibuco.
Yes. Attorney Buko.
Yes.
Do you agree also that in customs merong TARA system?
Your Honor, I have no personal knowledge.
I'm not asking whether you have personal knowledge or not. My question is very direct. Do you agree with me that there is such a thing as TARA system in customs? Yung customs police inamin na nga eh. Kayo, ano po?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Mr. Jimmy Guban, you've been with customs. Tama po.
Yes, Your Honor.
Meron talagang TARA system, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh. Mr. Taguba,
Yes po, Your Honor.
meron TARA system. Tama?
Yes po.
Kasi naniniwala ako na wala na ang TARA system kung wala na yung 3 o'clock habit ng Bureau of Customs every Friday. Di ba, Major Cascola?
Can you come again, sir? I was just writing. I could not. I wasn't able to catch
Ako,
your...
maniniwala na wala ng TARA system sa customs. Kung mawala na yung 3 o'clock habit ng customs every Friday at 3 p.m.
Sir, actually, sir, the TARA system can happen anytime.
Can happen anytime. Hindi.
Yes, Your Honor.
They divide the loot at 3 p.m. every Friday. Would you agree with that, Mr. Guban?
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a very A1 information.
Mr. Taguba,
Yes po, Your Honor.
lahat ng kausap mo na customs, pagdating ng bago alas 3, umaalis. At pumupunta uli sila sa opisina nila. Di ba?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Yes. Yun naman, no? Kaya, may TARA system talaga. Attorney. Pero, I'm telling you frankly, I've never been to the office of the customs. Malapit na ako mawala rito sa mundo, hindi pa ako nakapasok doon sa opisina ninyo. I have never had any transaction with customs. Pero ito, yung mga information na serbisyo pa ako, up to now, these informations are coming to me. Totoo. Hindi po ba? Sinabi kanina, anong last meeting na si Dan Fernandez, nasa X-ray. Kaya nakakalusot, no? Nandun sa color coding system ninyo. It's yellow, red, at saka green. Tama po? O sagutin niyo ako. Kayo nakakaalam nito. Tama? Yellow, red, at saka green. May super green pa
Sir,
pala.
actually, sir, just to explain, sir, the color system of the Bureau of Customs. In the computerized system of the Bureau of Customs, we have therein what they say as the enforcement screen, where the parameters for selecting green, red, yellow, orange shipments are.
Tanong ko is, meron green, red, and yellow lanes. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Kasi nandun ang sikreto.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kung nakinig po kayo sa sagot ni Mr. Taguba kanina doon sa mga katanungan, pag yellow, red, ang dadaanan mas marami. Pag green lane, mas kokonte yung dadaanan. Di ba, Mr. Taguba? Yun ang sagot mo kanina?
Yes po,
Kahit
Your Honor.
palis-alis ako, nakikinig ako doon sa kabila kasi nandun yung TV.
Yes po.
Yun ang sagot mo kanina eh.
Opo.
Di ba? Na kung minsan yung green lane, 3 lang ang dadaanan. Hindi na dadaanan yung entry processing unit at saka assessment division.
Tama po.
Tama? Pero kung yellow at saka red, dadaanan yun.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Yes, nandun ang kuwan sekreto. Dahil kung gustong palusutin ng mga taga-customs, idadaan sa green lane o kaya super green lane. Tama, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Yes. Ayun naman, oo. Kaya, legal man o illegal, may TARA. Tama?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Yeah. Kasi gusto ng customs na lahat may TARA.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Now, that brings us to the issue, maski lahat ng mga kagamitan, mga agricultural products, tumataas ang presyo dahil dyan sa TARA system na yan. Kasi ipapasa lahat dun sa hanggang sa consumer eh. Di ba? Minention kanina ni Mr. Guban, yung rice. Kaya nga mataas ang presyo ng rice dahil pinapasa lahat. Kung saan dadaanan yon from Vietnam, halimbawa, pagdating dito sa customs, may illegal fees, may legal fees. Para yun yung illegal. Tapos, ipapasa naman ng mga importer doon sa wholesaler. Yung wholesaler, ipapasa sa retailer. Down the line. Kaya, kung hindi maalis yung sistema na yan, ay yung presyo pa rin nandyan. Now, would you agree with that, Mr. Guban and Mr. Taguba?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Major Cascolan, would you agree with that also?
I agree, Your Honor.
You agree. Attorney, you agree with that? Yes, kasi logical yung aking sinasabi, di ba, Attorney? Tama.
Your Honor, Your Honor, I cannot. I have no personal knowledge.
Alin?
I have no personal knowledge.
You have been with customs for how many years? Huh?
5, Your Honor.
I've never been with customs and I know this. Attorney, you want me to cite you in contempt?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, do you answer me properly? Do you know that?
Your Honor, I've heard of that, Your Honor, but personally, Your Honor, I'm with.
So personally, you do not know, but you have heard of it.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you two, Major Cascolan and Attorney Boko, have heard of it, what are you doing about it?
Your Honor, if somebody will complain, Your Honor, there is an investigation that is being
So if
conducted.
there's no complainant, you wouldn't move. You wouldn't do anything. Is that what you're trying to tell this committee?
Not necessarily, Your Honor.
I beg your pardon?
Not necessarily, Your Honor.
Not necessarily. So dapat may gagawin kayo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kasi
yes, Your Honor.
organisasyon yun na yan
Yes, Your Honor.
Di ba? And yet you cannot tell me that you cannot or you're doing something about it.
Your Honor, we are doing something about it.
Like what?
Your Honor, we are constantly reviewing our policies, Your Honor, our systems, Your Honor, to
Attorney,
minimize that.
sabi ko nga malapit na akong mawala dito sa mundo. Hanggang ngayon, yung pa rin ang report na natatanggap ko. Even when I was still in the service. Di ba? It's still the same. The same. Si Mr. Taguba nga 6 years na nawala sa custom. So he does not know what changes happen. Pero sa tingin ko, sa nakikita niya at naririnig ngayon, walang pagbabago. Di ba, Mr. Taguba? Yes. Wala. Yun lang po ang aking katanungan, Mr. Chair, kasi
Mr. Chair.
It's related also to what we are investigating dun sa Quintacom.
Quintacom. Yes,
Thank you,
that's
Mr.
correct.
Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Acop. So we will now move to
Mr.
another
Chair.
topic.
One last.
Okay, the Congresswoman Luistro.
Mr. Taguba, if I am not mistaken, I came across your affidavit, that portion. You enumerated the offices under BOC involved in this TARA system. Can you please name all these offices? I believe there are around 10 or 11.
Wala po kasi sa akin ngayon eh. At hanggang ngayon hinihingi ko pa rin yung mga annexes nung affidavit na yon para makita ko yung mga text messages. Pero ayun po, isa doon, ComCen po, nandoon.
What is that?
Command Center.
ComCen.
Command Center.
COMCEN, yes.
Command Center. Mr. Chair, I understand that there is a narrative type of affidavit of Mark Taguba. I saw it there. I hope the Secretariat can provide us. So at least Mr. Taguba can be guided by his own affidavit and state before this committee which offices under BOC are this? Secretariat, please.
Comsec, can you provide Mr. Taguba a copy of his affidavit? Nandiyan dyan yata. Yung narrative, yung latest na narrative affidavit.
The narrative affidavit
here
is
a copy.
different from the
Yeah,
judicial affidavit.
I have here a copy. Ayun. Yan yata.
Iba po ito.
Can you... Do you have a copy, Congresswoman Luistro, so we can provide...
I used to have, but I don't know where it is right now.
Anyway, earlier, the same question was asked of Mark Taguba, and he replied by saying that he has not, he doesn't have a copy of his affidavit, therefore, he will not be able to name the recipients of the so-called TARA system. Tama, di ba? Yan ang sinabi mo kanina.
Yes po, Your Honor.
But as soon as he gets a copy of his affidavit, maybe he can list down the recipients of the so-called TARA.
I yield, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Is it the narrative type?
Yan na ba yun?
Hindi po. Ito po yung letter po na pinadala ko sa inyo.
That's a different, that's a...
This one is a judicial affidavit. I remember he has a narrative type of affidavit.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congressman
Perhaps,
Abante.
we could just be able to continue it and invite Mr. Paeldon. Because I think that the presence of Mr. Paeldon is vital in the testimony of Mark Taguba. If we can.
Yes, we will. We will invite the former commissioner of the Bureau of Customs, Commissioner Paeldon. And may I know if Congresswoman Luistro is done with her...
I am yielding, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
thank you. Thank you. So since we have covered a lot of issues today on the topic of dangerous drugs, we will now shift to another topic, to EJK na tayo ngayon, no? EJK. And yes, you want to say something, Mr. Guban?
Yes, Your Honor. Just basahin ko lang po yung verse sa sa Bible to support my... Para lumakas lalo ang loob namin.
Bible believer ka na rin pala.
Okay, sige.
Yes, then, Your Honor.
Sige, please. And after this, we will now move to the topic of EJK. Yes, you have 1 minute.
Thank you, Your Honor. The honorable members of this QUADCOM committee, I want to start my presence here today with some things I have learned and realized through the sufferings and circumstances that I have went through these 6 to 7 years. And I thank our Lord Jesus Christ for restoring me and walking with me all this. God is calling to be people of truth and justice. Micah, verse 6, paragraph 8. He has told you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord requires of you but to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. Kaya po, I am at peace right now, knowing that I had been faithful to God, and its call in my life to love justice, to do justice for this glory. Hindi ko man po makita noong una, mas naintindihan ko na po ngayon na dapat i-expose ang kadiliman at patuloy na sumunod sa Panginoong Hesus, na siyang ilaw at gabay ng aking buhay. Just like He rescued His people out of Egypt, just like rescued us from drains or saying, do His cross of Calvary, I know He will, and He is now rescuing me and saving me from this darkness and vindicating me as I trust, obey, and rely on Him day and night. May the Lord help us and strengthen us. Pray for me, pray for my well-being, pray and intercede for me, for my protection. Thank you, Lord. Thank you to all the honorable members of the QUADCOM.
Okay, salamat sa enlightenment, Pastor Jimmy. Thank you. Ano na lang, ano mo lang, you have a copy of your judicial affidavit, Mark? Nandiyan dyan. Nasaan na yung hawak mo kanina? Yung judicial affidavit.
Ano po yun, yung letter ko po sa inyo?
Wala kang kopya nito? Ito yung... Pakibigay mo nga ito, ano. Ito yata. Ito. So last question na ito, ha. Para lang for the record, no. Can you go to page number 15? Page number 15. Sa'yo itong affidavit, no? Ito yung judicial affidavit mo, Mark?
Yes po yun.
Okay. Kino-confirm mo sa ito, ha? Okay. Doon sa page 15, nakita mo?
Yes
Question number 37.
Yes po.
Apart and separate from the payments you made to the Davao Group and Big Brother, can you tell us if you paid off anyone else at the Bureau of Customs? Ano ang sagot mo?
Ayan po, offices that contacted me often are Port Collector Office, MICP, SSPDC, COMSEN, CIIS District, IPRD.
Chair,
IG.
can we direct the resource person to read clearly?
Pakilakasan mo lang.
Offices that contacted me often are Port Collector's Office, MICP, SSPDC, COMSEN, CIIS District, IPRD, IG, ESS District, FED, AOCG, and IAS.
Okay. So, malinaw po. At yan ay tutuloy natin, no, sa susunod natin na hearing. And last, for the record, sino ba si Jojo Bacud?
Sa SSPDC po siya nung...
So, empleyado siya ng Bureau of Customs.
Opo.
Okay, sige. Salamat.
Mr. Chair,
So,
if we could be able to invite the very people that are actually heading those offices in
Yes.
the next hearing.
yes, we will, Your Honor. If we have already scheduled the committee hearing, COMSEC, please take note of those are departments, not names, no? And maybe we can ask the heads of those departments that were mentioned by Mr. Taguba.
I'd
So-
like to make it a motion, Mr. Chair.
Your Honor, please, if there is no need for a motion, we will just
Okay.
direct the committee secretary to comply with the order of the chair.
Okay.
Thank you. Maraming salamat po. So now we will now proceed sa next topic, a topic of EJK. For the meantime, 1-minute suspension para po yung mga ating resource person sa Dangerous Drugs. Maraming salamat po sa inyong partisipasyon. And hopefully in the next scheduled Quadcom hearing, kayo po ay may imbitahan po ulit at sana po ay umattend din po kayo. Now, COMSEC, can you please ask the page to direct the resource persons related sa ating topic na EJK to be seated at the right side of the hall. So, salamat sa inyo, Major Cascolan, Mark Taguba, Jimmy Guban, General Katapang, thank you. Miss Jed Pilapilsi, pwede po ba kayo lumipat dito? May kasama ka bang abogado? Gusto mo bang bigyan ka namin ng abogado? Sige, dito. Secretariat, do we have a lawyer for... Wala ka bang ano dyan? Wala ka bang... Oh, yung pau na lang. Congresswoman na Arlene, yung mga... Where are they? Sila ano? Sila... extrajudicial killings. However, meron po tayong isang resource persons na inimbitahan to speak about yung nangyaring pagpatay sa kanyang asawa sa Davao, when the Davao Dumoy raid was implemented, where a warehouse of shabu was discovered. At isa doon sa mga napatay ay yung husband nitong ating resource person sa ngayon, who is allegedly a drug lord. So gusto nating bigyan ng pagkakataon ito nang sa ganon makita natin kung ano ba yung sirkumstansya sa likod ng pagkakakulong nila, at pagkakapatay sa kanyang husband. So yes, Congressman Paduano.
Chairman, ano lang po, can I request that before we proceed with Ms. Jed Pilapil, can we discuss first the related doon sa drug quotas that was discussed during the previous hearing? Doon po sa mga pulis na na-dismiss based on the quota. Kasi kaninang umaga pa po naghintay dito si Vice Commissioner Bernabe at saka yung sa CSC. Nandito ba yung taga Civil Service Commission? Civil Service?
Any representative from Civil Service?
Oh, saan sila? Silang importante. Anyway, Chairman, baka pwede lang natin masingit ngayon, mamaya, no? Kasi si Vice Commissioner Bernabe is already informed at he participated during the last hearing. Ang mahalaga ngayon dito, Mr. Chairman, is yung presence ng CEC because I have with me all the case folder that was also submitted by the CEC to this committee, Mr. Chairman. So we cannot discuss this unless in the presence of the CEC. Kasi may tatanong na ako sa kanila.
Sige,
Thank you, Chairman.
For the meantime, na wala pa yung representative ng CSC, can we proceed with the deliberation on, or maybe perhaps the questioning or interpellations to Ms. Jed Pilapil C. We are in receipt of an affidavit signed by Jed Pilapil C. Affidavit mo ba ito, Jed? Ito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ikaw ba ang pumirma dito?
Opo, Your Honor.
May kasama kang abogado nung gumagawa ka ba nitong affidavit na ito?
Opo.
At ito ay buong puso mong ginawa, walang nag-impluensya, walang nagtumakot, walang nag-pressure sa'yo?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Okay, so dito ka ngayon, voluntaryo kang humaharap.
Opo, Your Honor.
May abogado ka bang kasama?
Wala po.
Gusto mo bang bigyan ka namin ng abogado?
Kung kinakailangan po, Your Honor, okay naman po.
Sige, kung pagka ang pakiramdam mo, ikaw ay tinatanong, lalabag ang iyong karapatan, huminto ka lang at itaas mong iyong kamay, bibigyan ka namin ng abogado.
Opo, thank you, Your Honor.
Comsec, can you please sound off our lawyers in the House to be present here at any given time that the witness would need the assistance of a lawyer? Okay, salamat. So now, we'll proceed. Yes, sige, bago po magkatanungan ay we will administer the oath of Ms. Jed Pilapil C. And the rest, those that attended this committee hearing for the first time, maaari po ba tayong mag-oath? And Comsec, please administer the oath.
Maring tumayo po. And itaas natin ang ating kamay. Kayo ba ay nanunumpa ng katotohanan, pawang katotohanan at buong katotohanan sa pagdinig ng kapulungang ito? At kaawaan nawa kayo ng Diyos. Maraming salamat. The oath has been administered.
Okay, thank you, Comsec. Now, we will now proceed with interpellations. I have here a list of the members who wish to interpellate Ms. Jed Pilapil C. I'd like to give the floor first to the chair of the Committee on Human Rights, Congressman Benny Abante.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Gusto ko po sanang tanungin si Miss Jed Pilapil-C. Ano po? Taga saan po kayo?
Taga Surigao del Sur po.
Oo, yung mga Pilapil taga Surigao.
Opo.
Okay. Kasi meron akong mga kamag-anak na Pilapil sa Bicol. Oo. Sinabi nyo, nung December 31, 2004, ay tinawagan po kayo ng asawa nyo, si Alan C.
Opo, Your Honor, kasi nga, nag-usap kami na magkita.
Anong napag-usapan nyo?
Tinawagan niya po ako kasi supposedly nga magkita kami sa SM dahil ipapasyal namin yung anak namin. Nagkataon po na tulog siya nung mga 3 p.m. Kaya sabi ko sa kanya, mamaya na lang kasi tulog yung bata. Kaya hinintay ko na magising yung anak namin. So siguro mga 5 p.m.
Ilan po ang anak nyo?
Isa lang po.
Okay.
Tapos, nung 5 p.m. kaya...
Lalaki siya, lalaki.
Babae po.
Ilang taon na siya?
Actually, nung iniwan ko siya, 3 years old pa lang. So, 20 years na po ako. 23 na po siya.
Okay. Nasaan po siya ngayon? Yung anak?
Nandito po, sa Manila po.
Sa Manila. Okay. Nagpunta pa kayo sa SM?
Opo, pumunta po ako mga alas 5 na po ng hapon. Nagmadali ako kasi nga 5 p.m. na yon. Tapos, nung pagdating ko sa SM, nalaman ko na mga 6:30, mag-close na pala. Almost 6, dumating ako doon. So, nung pag-park ko ng sasakyan, tinawagan ko agad siya kasi nga, makikita kami doon. Ang nangyari, hindi na siya sumasagot. So, nagmadali ako ng tawag, nagpaulit-ulit ako nag-dial kasi kailangan ko nga siya na magmadali kami kasi wala kaming bigas at that time. Kailangan kong bumili ng bigas kasi yung katulong namin nakalimutan niya. So ngayon, hindi man talaga siya sumagot, pumunta ko sa Gloria Maris kasi wala kaming ulam, magbili na lang kami. So yun, sa shortcut, hindi talaga kami nagkita. Umuwi ako ng bahay. Pagdating ko doon, kasi nandun yung mother-in-law at saka father-in-law ko galing China. Naiwan sila sa bahay.
Anong oras kayo umuwi ng bahay?
Siguro kasi natapos ako sa SM mga 6:30. Siguro by mga 7:30 nasa bahay na po ako. Nakabalik na po ako. Pagdating ko po doon, hinanap ng mama niya, yung parents niya, bakit daw hindi ko kasama si Alan. Sabi ko po, hindi ko siya nakausap, wala.
Pilipino po ba si Alan o Chinese?
Ano po, Your Honor?
Pilipino ba si Alan o Chinese?
Chinese po.
Chinese, hindi siya Pilipino?
Hindi po.
Okay. So, anong pagkakilala niyo sa kanya? Matagal na kayo mag-asawa nung at that time, nung December 31,
2004.
2004, matagal na ba kayo mag-asawa?
Hindi po, kasi 2000 lang po kami kinasal, July. So, parang almost mga 4 years and 4 months pa siguro, mga ganyan.
Okay po ba ang buhay nyo? Maganda ba yung pamilya nyo? O, ano po ba kalagayan ng buhay nyo?
Sawa ng Diyos, okay naman po kasi nga, businessman naman po siya. Maayos naman, kaya lang, ito nga ang realidad dahil na sinuway ko yung mother ko, nung nag-asawa na ako, naging battered wife ako. Opo.
Ano ibig sabihin ng battered wife?
Nananakit po siya kasi...
Si Alan C.
Opo.
Sinasaktan ka.
Opo, Your Honor. Siguro nga ito yung pinaka-biggest mistake na ginawa ko sa buong buhay ko. Kasi sa pag-disobey ko sa parents ko.
Pero kahit sinasaktan ka, Mahal mo pa rin yung asawa mo.
Ganun po, Your Honor. Tsaka hindi ako pwede magsumbong kasi nga, kagustuhan ko, parang sa pride ko rin, ayaw ko na mapahiya ko sa family ko kasi sinunod ko man yung gusto ko.
Hindi mo siya hiniwalayan. Hindi ka miwalay sa kanya.
Nag-attempt po ako nung, mga, buntis pa po ako at that time, siguro, mga 7 months. Nag-attempt ako na gusto ko siya na, layuan. Pero hindi ko rin nakaya kasi yung family, parang inayos kami. Bumalik din ako.
So, anong ginagawa sa'yo ng asawa mo? Ibig sabihin ng battered wife, binubugbog ka ba niya? O?
Opo, yung may instance talaga na muntik ako namatay, yung na-hospital ako sa, Davao Doc. Yun ang, na pinaka-worst. Dahil nga, nagkaroon ako ng, hindi ko maintindihan kasi baliktad yun, Your Honor. Yung itong floor, nasa taas, yung sa taas, hindi ako makakain, tapos, hindi ako makatayo. So, parang natakot man siya. Pinadala niya ako sa ospital. Pinatingnan niya ako dun sa, yung neurologist ba yun? Parang, yun. Tapos,
yung ba'y ginagawa niya palagi o ilang beses niyang ginawa sa'yo mula nung kinasal?
Actually, madalas po, Your Honor. Ang nakakaalam po yung, one time talaga kasi yung mother-in-law ko, minsan nagbakasyon na yun sa amin. Nakawitness siya nung sinasaktan ako. Yung mama niya talaga ang may alam. Napapagalitan naman siya, pero siguro wala din walang yung mama niya kasi mamagawa yung matanda.
Ang nabanggit mo sa iyong sinumpaang salaysay, ng 9:30 ng gabi, ikaw ay pinuntahan ni Mayor Duterte.
Opo, Your Honor.
Kilala mo ba siya?
Kilala ko siya as mayor nung time, at that time po na nangyari po ito.
Kilala ka ba niya?
Hindi ko po alam kung kilala niya ako kasi never po kami na...
It's your first time na makita mo siya?
Opo.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin, magkaibigan yung Mayor Duterte at that time at si Alan C.
Hindi ko po alam kung friends sila kasi hindi ko naman po nakita. Never ko po na nakita si Mayor Duterte at saka yung asawa ko.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi ko yan sila na...
Ang sabi niya sa'yo, nagalit siya sa asawa mo.
Opo, nung pumunta siya, kasi hinanap niya. Tinanong ko siya kung bakit. Ang sabi niya, basta galit na galit ako sa asawa mo.
Hindi niya sinabi ang dahilan kung bakit?
Hindi niya sinabi kasi nga, kinulit ko nga siya, bakit po Mayor? Bakit may kasalanan po ba nagawa ang asawa ko? Bakit galit na galit? Kasi talagang galit siya, parang nanggigigil siya sa galit. Tapos sabi niya...
Ibig sabihin, kung pinuntahan ka ni Mayor Duterte at that time, kilalang kilala nung Mayor Duterte at that time, ang asawa mo. Palagay ko, hindi kanya pupuntahan kung hindi mahalaga si Alan C. kay Mayor Duterte. Tama?
Hindi ko po masabi, Your Honor, kasi hindi ko naman alam kung magkakilala sila. Ang alam ko, mayor siya, pero never ko nga talaga na nakita yan sila na or wala kong instance na nakita na...
Binanggit niya sa'yo na huwag kang lalabas ng bahay.
Opo,
at
Your
bibigyan ka ng security.
Opo, Your Honor.
Mula sa RMG, CIDG, pati Task Force Davao. Yun ang sabi. Nabigyan ka ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Umalis si Mayor Duterte ilang minuto after na dumating siya.
Ano yung Again, Your Honor.
Umalis siya sa bahay mo ilang minuto pagkatapos niyan dumating. Dumating siya ng 9:30, umalis siya ng anong oras?
Madali naman lang po yung pag-uusap namin kasi nagtanong lang siya. Nag-usap kami dahil nga Friday kasi hindi ko yun makalimutan kasi Friday, magsa-Sabbath day na po ako pagka following day. Supposedly doon po yung Sabbath service namin sa Eden, yung resort doon sa Davao. Yung sinabi niya sa akin na huwag kang umalis kasi babalik ako sa'yo bukas. Huwag ka muna magpunta doon.
Nung umalis siya, Miss Jed, dumating yung mga security.
Actually, nung pumunta po siya, Your Honor, marami sila eh. Marami siyang kasama. Marami sila.
Kilala mo ba yung ibang kasama niya?
Wala akong nakilala kahit isa doon, maliban sa kanya.
Wala siyang kasamang anak niya o sino man? Vice Mayor, Kunsel, wala po siyang kasama?
Wala talagang nakilala doon at saka madilim din yun yung time na yun kasi mga 9:30 na yun,
madilim yung ano, hindi ko masyado na ano yung mga mukha ng mga kasama. Pero marami talaga
Siya
sila.
ba yung nagbalik kinabukasan sa pangako niya?
Hindi siya nagbalik. Hindi na siya bumalik.
O after several hours, binanggit mo na ang isang kaibigan mo ay tumawag. Tumawag sa iyo
Nagtawag
o
po.
tumawag sa asawa mo? Anong ibig sabihin nun?
Ito, hindi ko talaga ma-sure kung sa akin na cellphone o sa asawa ko. Kasi nga, yung cellphone ng asawa ko, pag hindi siya sumagot or naka-off, magda-divert po sa akin.
Mhm.
So, nung time na tumawag yung kaibigan niya, kalimutan ko na yung pangalan, matagal-tagal lang, 20 years na po. Kasi, nung tumawag siya sa akin,
Nakausap mo siya?
opo, nang pagsagot ko, so siyempre, kilala niya, babae ang sumagot, so ako yon. Nung pagsagot ko, sabi niya, Mrs., buksan mo television kasi, yung dumoy ni Raid. Nandun asawa mo, nandun si Alan, may namatay doon, may mga namatay. Parang hindi ako makapaniwala. Sabi ko, kasi alam ko may nakarenta doon yung bahay ko. Sabi ko, hindi, may nakarenta doon. Sabi siya, hindi, buksan mo television.
May bahay ka doon?
Actually kasi, Your Honor, yung Dumoy na property is nakapangalan po sa akin.
Nakapangalan sa'yo?
Opo.
Ang Dumoy property?
Opo.
Yung pinagganapan ng krimen?
Opo. Yung nirentahan ni Alex Kim, nakapangalan yun sa akin. Meron nga kami yung contract of lease.
Gaano kalayo yun sa Arlene apartment kung saan ka nakatira?
Medyo malayo po, Your Honor, kasi Toril yun, yung apartment namin, nasa lang yun sa Agdaw. So malayo-layo.
Ibig sabihin, Turil yung Dumoy, yung Arlene nasa Agdaw.
Sa Agdaw, malapit.
Which is how many hours away? Mga 30 minutes o 1 hour?
Hindi naman siguro maabot ng oras.
Okay. Ang nabanggit mo, noong January 1, 2005, inimbitahan ka ng PDEA sa kanilang opisina. Nagpunta ka, di ba?
Sa PDEA, opo.
Okay, PDEA, oo. Kilala mo ba yung PDEA ang nakipag-usap sa'yo?
Hindi ko sila kilala nung una kasi wala akong kilala doon kahit isa sa kanila.
Okay.
Nakilala ko na lang sila nung may mga sila yung parang dito, mga sa pangalan. Kaya nakikita.
Sino po ang PDEA na nakilala mong kumausap sa'yo? Na in-interview ka?
Una, yung si Monte de Ramos po.
Sino po? Sino po?
Monte de Ramos. Namatay na po yun, Your Honor. Ang alam ko.
Namatay na.
Opo.
Anong kinamatay niya?
Base lang po sa sinabi sa akin kasi before po siya namatay, nagpunta pa yun ng jail. Parang heart attack yata. Hindi ko talaga sure, pero
Heart
yun
attack?
lang. Opo, yun lang ang sinabi
Hindi po
sa
siya namatay sa pakikipaglaban.
Hindi ko talaga sure kung pero ang sabi na daw siya, na heart attack.
Sino pa ho ang nakausap mo niyo sa PDEA?
Yung si nakilala ko na yun, si Val Carillo.
Val Carillo.
Opo.
Ang kanyang apelido ay Carillo.
Opo, Your Honor.
Siya po ba'y buhay pa?
Wala na talaga akong balita, Your Honor. 20 years na nga po ang dumaan. Hindi ko na alam, hindi ko na nga kilala siguro kahit mga mukha nila. Hindi ko na matandaan.
20 years. Alright. Sino po itong si Alex Kim?
Yan po yung nag-rent ng namin, yung bahay namin.